Hello students, as now only few days are left for your physics term 2 examination. It is a short interaction on last minute tips for term 2 examination. We'll discuss here do's and don'ts in the remaining days. Whatever days are left, what you should do and what you should try to avoid. So for that, we'll just try to have a tactical strategy. Whatever days are left, in that you make a proper strategy, and with that you can proceed. Here, this strategy we call it as the CRP strategy. Now, what is this CRP strategy? C is for check, R revise, and P is practice. So this particular CRP strategy basically will include here the steps like check, revise, and practice. Now, what is that? For the check, you just ensure completion of revision. Of course, you must have done the revision there so many times there. But I will suggest that at this last moment, again, you just go through the entire syllabus. Go through the syllabus which has been released by the board. You all must be having that there. And check it chapter wise. And in each chapter also go through topic, subtopic. Like suppose if I take for the optics, ray optics is there. So you just see that you have done the reflection of light. This part is there. Then it is your total internal reflection and its application. Okay. And here, suppose by chance you have missed optical fiber. So you will be able to just go through that particular part. You will be able to know that you have missed out this. So you can go through that particular part there. So just ensure that you have completed all these units and subunits there and you have prepared for that particular part. So go through entire syllabus so that nothing is missed out. After that, you revise. Now, what this revision means, you just prepare a complete formula list. Of course, once you have done chapter wise, you know what are the formulas which are there. So on a separate sheet there, just note down the formulas on that particular topic. Like suppose you are doing optics, so what are the formulas there, and for other topics also, just note down the formula. This will help you to get all the formulas at one particular place. At the same time, these formulas will help you in solving the numericals there. And of course, once you are preparing the formula list, you will not miss out any particular formula there. So in that case, definitely all formulas will be handy at one place for you. And of course, keep memory map ready there and also updated. Whatever chapter you have gone, on that chapter, make a memory map there. And just keep that one updated when you are revising it, the chapter, whatever new things you are getting, keep that one updated there in that map. And ensure that you have practice for ray diagram. Ray diagram in this exam, that especially like in the term 2, when you have the optics there, it is very important. Often questions are there on drawing the ray diagram there for special cases there, for specific cases also may be there. So practice for the ray diagram, whether it is your lens formula, lens maker formula, or it is your optical instruments there. So for all cases there, practice for the ray diagram. And ensure that in the ray diagram, you have put the arrow there. So arrow representation is there. You have not missed out that, because even if anyone has drawn the complete ray diagram but missed out the arrow, some marks is deducted normally for that. So ensure that you are not giving any chance for the examiner to deduct your marks there. So just take care for that part, that you have drawn the ray diagram and you have represented the arrow there properly. And of course, conceptual type questions will be there. So go through the conceptual type questions and have a practice of that also. Not just revise your notes and other, but also practice for conceptual type questions. And After conceptual type question, there will be long answer type question, because 3 marks questions are also there. So normally these will be the long answer type question there. It may have some parts also there, but long answer type questions, just prepare for that particular part there. Now this long answer type question is the one which makes the students unhappy sometimes. And for them it is difficult to manage there, because some lengthy derivation may be there. In that case, they just normally the students try to memorize that. And memorizing the derivation and other is not a good idea, because many times since so many derivations are there, they get mixed up there, and they will not be able to get any specific derivation there completely and properly. So just take care that you practice for this long answer type question or derivations there properly, and I will suggest that you use a Google Map technique. What is this Google Map technique? I will just brief you here, and just try to follow that, and definitely you will be able to get rid of your fear for the lengthy derivations. You don't have to memorize that particular one. A detailed video on Google Map technique I have made, and I will be sharing it also with you, and the link of that will be given in the description, so you can go through that. And here I will just discuss what is this Google Map technique. Suppose you have one particular derivation. You have to find the expression for the energy of electron in any particular orbit of a hydrogenous atom. This is a lengthy derivation, and if you memorize it, you'll find that this is about 2 pages or 2.5 pages there of your copy, and it will be a tiresome work there to memorize there. And but you see here in this one also, they have started with the expression, and they have first taken the expression for force there, then they have applied quantization of the angular momentum, got the expression for velocity, then the expression for the radius is there. Okay, and once you have got the expression for the velocity and radius, then we derive the expression for the kinetic energy, then potential energy, and then we take the total energy of the electron in any particular orbit. So it is a very lengthy derivation there. Now, how Google Map will help you? Just see, if you take Google Map, you want to go from one place to other. Started with your present location, and you have put the destination. It will give you a map, and it will give you basically the route there for that. And if it is a guided one, that means it is giving you how you have to drive there and other. So just see that if you have started, this is giving you, suppose that after 230 meter, you have to take a right turn. After that, it is your 1.7 kilometer, you have to go almost straight. So in this part of 1.7 kilometer, it is the guided map is not going to disturb you with their voice command and other. So you can go straight there. And then it is there that after 110 meter, you have to take a left turn there. So it is basically giving you instruction there at specific locations. Whenever you have to take a turn, when you have to go straight, it is telling you that up to this kilometer, you can go straight there. Now it is the time to take a left turn or right turn there. So this is the thing which you can apply whenever you are doing any particular lengthy derivation. Now, how you will be using that one, just see. Suppose we have started with this derivation. Now, in this derivation, we can see that first it is the expression for the electrostatic force between electron and the nucleus, which we have determined. And then we are writing the expression for the centripetal force. Since the centripetal force will be provided by electrostatic force, so we have equated the two, and we get the expression there for say velocity term or mv square term there. Or Then you are using observation of angular momentum. So this is the another one which you are using. With that, you are getting the expression for velocity, and this expression for velocity you can substitute in this expression which you have taken. That is the equation which you are getting by equating the centripetal force and the electrostatic force. And if you simplify that, you will get the expression for the radius. So you are getting the expression for the radius there. Once you have got the expression for the radius, you substitute it in the expression for velocity, what you have got in the maybe this particular expression or this fourth one. And if you simplify again, you will get the expression for the velocity. So you have the expression for the radius, you have the expression for velocity. Substitute that expression for velocity in the expression for the kinetic energy, half mv square. Put the expression for radius in the electrostatic potential energy expression. Add the two together, electrostatic potential energy, kinetic energy. You will get the expression for the total energy. So what you can use here, instead of memorizing the entire derivation, you just try to pinpoint what are the steps which you have to follow. So what steps you have to do? We have to start with the expression for electrostatic force, write the expression for the centripetal force, equate it. This is your first step. Then you take quantization of the angular momentum. This is another expression. Using these two expressions, you can get the expression for radius there. Just by substituting the value of velocity, what you get it from one expression, put it in the other equation. Because basically now you have two equations involving two unknowns, r and v. So solving them, you can get the expression for the velocity, you can get the expression for radius. And once you have got this particular expression for velocity and radius, you can substitute in the expression for kinetic energy, substitute in the expression for electrostatic potential energy, and then you will get the expression for the total energy just by a sum of the two. So if you just remember and pinpoint these steps which you have to follow, you don't have to memorize the entire derivation. In between, you have to just do the simplification. Simplification you don't have to memorize. It will be just a mechanical work that you have to do. So you can do any lengthy derivation just by knowing or pinpointing the steps which you have to follow. And rest part will be just a simple simplification. So you don't have to memorize that entire derivation. So just use this Google Map technique, apply to the different derivations, lengthy derivations there, not only in physics, but in other subjects also you can try there, but especially try to apply in physics there. With that, you don't have to memorize the lengthy derivations there. Next is there, solve at least one full paper daily. Of course, you must be solving full papers there. Now, whatever days are left now, you just try to ensure that you are solving at least one full paper daily. After that, day before examination, 1 day before examination, just relax. These days you have done your study, you have done your study sincerely and regularly, you have done revision, so there is nothing to worry. Relax, have confidence. Since you have done your work sincerely there and with honesty, there is nothing to panic. But again, just scan through the entire syllabus 1 day before your examination. It is just to ensure that once you just scan, you don't have to read, revise there. You just scan through the entire syllabus. And if you are scanning through the entire syllabus, even maybe it is just like you are going through that. You are not even reading it completely. Scan through that. It will just make your entire syllabus fresh in your mind. So this also you take care of just 1 day before examination, and in the night, take a proper sleep. Don't do too much of your studies there, late night hours there, 1 day before examination. Take proper sleep so that you are getting up early in the morning there with fresh mind, and you will be able to handle the paper very nicely. Now, in the examination room, what are the things you should do? One is your reading time utilization. How you should utilize this reading time. It's not that once you have got the paper, you are going through the entire paper there. It is not like just the reading. You have to use some strategies, some planning in this reading time there so that it can be utilized properly. Read the question carefully. And after reading that one, pinpoint questions not to attempt first. For any question for which you are not sure, which appears to be tricky at that particular moment, or it appears as if you are not sure of its answer properly, don't think over that particular question at that point and just mark that in your paper that you are going to tackle that later on. Never try to think over tricky questions or tough questions in the reading time. For that, you will utilize your time later on, because unnecessarily you will stress your brain too much there in thinking over that, and it may make you nervous also if you are not getting the proper answer. So never think over the tricky questions there or tough questions in the reading time. Next thing, should we start serially? Should we start from question 1 to last question there? Like, see, earlier your paper was like that. You have 1 marks question, 2 marks question, 3 marks, 5 marks questions were there, even 4 marks questions were also there. But now in this particular examination, in term 2 examination, you have definitely a 5 marks question at the end. But that particular 5 marks question is an objective type question. It is a case study question basically. So here I will suggest that you attempt with case study question first. Because earlier when the students were following the questions serially there, in that case it was your 1 marks question there in the beginning, and long answer type questions were there at the end. So it was your 3 marks question, then last 3 questions were of 5 marks there, and it was a traditional question there. Maybe even if it has 2 parts there, but it was a long answer type question there, or maybe some numericals are added there. But here now you have your case study question as the last question there, and this case study question has 5 parts there, each are having 1 marks. So if you are doing at the last moment, that means you are trying to do it at last. In that case, this one you will be doing at the last moment, and maybe that when you are trying to finish your paper in a hurry, you may make mistake. If it is a traditional question, long answer type question, it will be mechanical derivation. Mechanical work will be there, but it requires some proper thinking there. So I will suggest, since in the beginning your mind will be free, you will be relaxed, so better to solve this particular case study question in the beginning. So at least you can ensure that you are not making some silly mistakes there at the last moment in hurry and unnecessarily losing marks. So this is just my suggestion, that you start with case study question first. And next is your for long answer question. 3 marks questions are there. In that, write different parts answer in different lines or paragraph. Never try to write the things in passage, because not only it will be difficult for anyone who is going through your answer sheets, that is the examiners there, for them to find out whether you have attempted all parts properly or not, or even when you are revising your answer sheet at the last moment, you will not be able to make out whether you have attempted all questions or all parts properly or not. So for example, if I take one particular question, all these are a 3 marks question. Now, if the question has the parts given as your A, B, C, definitely it is there that you will be writing it separately there, A, B, C there. Of course, Never try to write in a passage. Write it distinctly, A, B, C. And of course, when you are writing it as A, B, C, definitely you will not miss out any part. Even if suppose you are not sure of any particular part there, you can leave the space for that so that you can do that particular part later. So suppose you have done A part, C part, you have left a space for B, you can come back after some time and you can complete that. Problem will be there for the questions like this, the 10th one. Now here you see this particular question which is given there, the focal length of a convex lens made of glass of refractive index 1.5 is 20 centimeter. Next, it is given what will be the new focal length when placed in a medium of refractive index 1.25. But at the same time, now it has given two other parts also. Clear? So, of course, it is there in separate line, but at the same time, in the other part, it is given what does it signify. Many times what happens, a student might have completed this particular part, what is the focal length, or even this part if they have done, because it is not distinct like it is your A, B, C there. It is just written in one line there or maybe in one passage the question is given. Chances are there the student may miss this particular part, this one. So once you are writing that separately in different lines, definitely you will be able to find out if you have missed out any particular part when you are doing revision properly there, and you can attempt that particular part or complete your question properly there. So just take care for that part to write all the different parts in separate line or separate passage. And before submission, first check that all questions have been attempted. You have attempted all the questions there of the question paper, and make a final revision of your answer sheet. Maybe that somewhere you have missed out any part, somewhere in the numerical, if suppose you have written the final answer, but the unit is not mentioned. So you can definitely get all these things there when you are revising it finally. Without revision, never submit your copy, and just spare some time for revision. Take care of all these things, definitely you will be able to do well in your examination. So all the best for your exams.